Man, I woke up feeling refreshed this morning. I think taking the 2 days off last week rejuvenated me. I am usually pretty consistent with my moods, with my mindset. 99% of the time, I wake up in a great mood, ready to get to work. But during certain points last week, I wouldn't say I was in a bad mood. I was just feeling a little bit down. I normally don't have any trouble finding interesting topics to share with you guys to talk about. But last week, it was absolutely brutal. Most of the time, I can find something that sparks my interest in 10, 15 minutes. Last week, I was struggling to find anything that piqued my interest. I find it extremely difficult to talk for 15 minutes about something that I just don't give a shit about. I always try to create content that I would watch myself. This morning, I had no trouble finding something that piqued my interest, and it pertains to the NHL. We don't cover the NHL very much here on the channel. I was a casual NHL fan growing up. I didn't watch every game, but I followed the league throughout the season. For me personally, hockey is one of those sports that's so much better to watch live than watching on television. I can remember when I was 19 years old. I was on a cruise during the Stanley Cup Finals. The cruise left out of Cape Canaveral, right outside of Orlando. There was a massive contingent of fans of the Tampa Bay Lightning on the ship. Every game of the Stanley Cup Finals that year, we all watched at the bar on the top deck of the ship. It was a fucking blast. It was an exciting series. The series went 7 games. The Lightning ended up winning the championship. As drunk as I was during that cruise, I still vividly remember that series almost 20 years later. After that, the NHL went on strike. I believe the following season was canceled altogether. Up until recently, it was damn near impossible to find NHL games on national television. The league, and more specifically the Philadelphia Flyers, they found themselves in the center of controversy over the weekend. And when I say controversy, I mean Twitter virgins put down the hand lotion and set off the alarm on their fake outrage meter. Oh, the fake outrage was abundant this weekend. They were out in full force. Lonely birthing people who identify as men home alone on a Friday night, waiting for a tweet from Keith Olbermann to achieve proper woke erection. Or waiting on a story that involves racism to display their fake outrage. The Philadelphia Flyers announced Friday they were sending a handful of draft picks to the Carolina Hurricanes in exchange for Tony DeAngelo. Now you would think fans of the Philadelphia Flyers would be excited about this trade. Tony DeAngelo, he's coming off the best season of his career. He's in the middle of his prime, only 26 years old. He has another, 5, 6, 7 years left in his prime. The Flyers were an absolute dump last season. They haven't moved into the WNBA dump just yet, but they were reaching level 1 dump status, which is obtaining the stench. You know the stench I'm talking about. Turn on a WNBA game and look at the faces of all 3 people in the arena. They have that stench face, the face you make when you breathe the fresh dump air. The Flyers haven't made the playoffs since before Fauci fucked America. Now, I don't know much about the NHL, but you would think bringing in a player coming off the best season of his career, you would think that would be a good thing. As a defenseman in Carolina, he was one of their leading scorers last season at the position. He's used primarily for defense, but Tony DeAngelo, he can still contribute offensively. At this point, the Flyers have nowhere to go but up. You would figure their fan base would be excited about bringing in Tony DeAngelo. If you believe the bullshit on Twitter, that was not the case. The trade for Tony DeAngelo was met with outrage. Why? When he was playing junior league hockey 10 fucking years ago, he got into an altercation with a teammate. They were friends. They got into an argument. Tony DeAngelo allegedly used either a racist or homophobic slur. Doesn't matter which, racist or homophobic, doesn't matter. If you're a member of Woke United Methodist, both of those qualify as woke boner words. Over the weekend, Tony DeAngelo was interviewed by NBC Sports Philadelphia. He addressed this issue head on. Watch for yourself.
What I would say is I'm absolutely not racist at all. I had, there was something I said back in junior. People don't know what it is. I'm not going to go into it, but it was something that I regretted. And it was a friend of mine on my team that we had an argument and we remained friends. And the other stories that have come out here are just totally false.
Okay, so we don't know what he said. We don't know the context in which he said it. We don't know anything. All we know is we are supposed to be outraged because he made a mistake as a teenager. Twitter virgins are upset. They cannot believe Tony DeAngelo is being given another chance in the NHL. Check out some of these reactions. Look at this one from Jesse Sphincter. He wants you to know that he goes by he, him pronouns, meaning he has the ability to have a child. His banner on Twitter has the letters FML, which I would assume is his woke mating call. FML stands for feeling male limbs. It's a common mating call for lonely men looking for some one-on-one time. Check out this other one from another verified shitfuck. People turn to sports for woke love. Why is this not allowed for marginalized people? Who in the fuck is she talking about? Who is marginalized? Name one person who was marginalized by something Tony DeAngelo said 10 years ago. Where was this same outrage when it was discovered that Joy Reid had written racist and homophobic slurs on a blog 10 years ago? Where was the outrage then? I didn't see the losers calling for MSNBC to fire Joy Reid. I didn't see anyone questioning why Joy Reid was being given a chance. Not only was she given a chance, they moved her from hosting a show on weekend mornings to hosting a show in prime time. She was promoted. What's the difference? What is the difference between Joy Reid and Tony DeAngelo? The difference is obvious. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to be forgiven if you're a black woman. You make the same mistake as a white man? Hell, Tony DeAngelo, he wasn't even a man at the time. He was a kid. You make the same mistake, they expect you to never find work again. We must get rid of this blatant racism. Racism has no place in the NHL. I'm not going to lie. Tony DeAngelo does have a checkered past. He was suspended twice during his junior league days, once for the altercation with the teammate that we already discussed, another time for abusing officials. The NHL, they suspended him for 3 games back in 2017 for physical abuse of officials. But you know what that's called? Growing up. Who fucking cares? Did you not make mistakes when you were 21 years old? Did you not make mistakes when you were a teenager? When I was that age, I never thought before I acted. I never thought before I spoke. At 37 years old, I usually always think before speaking. There's all this fake outrage surrounding Tony DeAngelo. Where was this same outrage with Evander Kane? His rap sheet is longer than Rachel Levine's cucumber. 2016, accused of assault and harassment. 2019, 2021, gambling allegations. He was accused of betting on NHL games. 2021, domestic violence allegations. Hell, Evander Kane hit the fucking hat trick. I don't remember seeing the fake outrage when he was given chance after chance in the NHL. But see, the so-called racism is the excuse being given as to why Tony DeAngelo shouldn't be playing in the NHL. But the real reason, the virgins don't want to mention, it's far more sinister. He's committed a far greater sin. Tony DeAngelo has violated one of the most important woke commandments. Thou shalt not support Donald Trump. Tony DeAngelo, he's a Trump supporter. As you guys know, that automatically qualifies you as a racist and white supremacist. He's also a common sense thinker, which means he knows Fauci is full of shit. Tony DeAngelo, he is not a believer in lizard love. He doesn't want to be subjected to a round of butt bongo with the world's oldest lizard. There was this same level of fake outrage when Carolina signed him last season. And the fake outrage, it's even more intense now. For the past 2 years, there has been pressure on the NHL to be a more inclusive league. The NHL is too white. There's not enough minority representation. We need more black players in the NHL. Like the NFL, the NHL has been accused of fake wokeism. They're pandering to us. They're virtue signaling. They're pretending to be woke. No shit. You know who else is pretending to be woke? Damn near every other woke organization. These corporations and sports league, they don't give a shit about wanker spankers on Twitter. What the fuck do you want the NHL to do to be more inclusive? You tell me. What are they supposed to do? Well, KC, they need to draft and recruit more black players. Where the hell are they? Do you know of many black hockey players? Majority of NBA players are black. I never hear talk about the NBA needing to be more inclusive. They also want the NHL to be more inclusive to black fans. Again, what fucking black fans are we talking about? The NHL's a business. It's a league trying to capitalize on the growth and momentum they saw last season. Look at these demographics of NHL fans. If you're the NHL, if you're working in the marketing department of the league, who are you going to promote the league to? An overwhelming majority of your fan base is the White Devil. There are hundreds of tweets on Twitter right now of supposed fans of the Philadelphia Flyers claiming that they're not going to go to any more games until Tony DeAngelo is released. More than likely, these people weren't buying tickets anyway. I don't know of very many homeless people who can afford to attend NHL games. At the end of the day, none of this bullshit from his past, none of it should matter. Everyone deserves the opportunity to learn from their mistakes and be given another chance. But let me know what you think. Twitter virgins, fake outrage on the Flyers trading for Tony DeAngelo. Is the NHL woke? Or is the NHL fake woke? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.